Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video. Just had another fantastic Bible study with my family, and you know, the message was clear. In the excerpt that I read of the Bible, it was assigned to me, I believe it was Galatians 5:13 through 15, and summarizing it with, you know, without for going verbatim, it was essentially saying if we continue to sin against one another, eventually we'll devour one another. You know, we continue to eat away at one another with sin and with our ways of doing things, eventually it won't be anyone left. And that's essentially what that was. And you know, I just thought that summed up so many different things that are obvious in this world. I mean, I think it's not a very difficult concept to understand. I don't think that that's something that's limited to a Christian mindset. At the end of the day, no matter what we're doing, you know, my uncle was mentioning in regards to gang members and street gangs. If we're eating away at our neighborhood, it won't be nothing left. If we're eating away at our numbers, it won't be any of us left. That kind of thing. You know, in the form of cancer, if you don't, you know, treat it, whatever form of cancer it is, in any, whether it be medical or even further out in certain other things we talk about, if you don't nip it in the bud, eventually it's going to spread and devour the entire thing. And I just think that that's so important to mention because so many of us can relate to that. And I thought it would be very important for me to get on here and just say that right after doing the Bible study. You know, during the Bible study, I try to pride myself on being attentive and paying attention to everything that's being said, but sometimes I get distracted. And today, I can legitimately say I was distracted. I made the mistake of hopping on Instagram during the Bible study, and what I saw was just more of the same in regards to the genocide. And I didn't bring it up to my family, you know what I mean? I don't know what everybody's fullness and understanding is on there of what it is that's going on, or what position they take. I think, you know, my uncle and another one of the guys on there, I believe, are military, so I don't really know everybody's position on that. I don't discuss that opinion with my family. If my uncle happens to follow my channel, I'm sure he knows what I think, but I don't bring it up with him. But the stuff that I saw just kind of killed the mood, man. You know what I mean? It's today they attacked a set of tents, and while this isn't new, we've talked about how they've been burning people alive in tents. Unfortunately, the footage that they're showing today is some of the most graphic stuff that we've seen yet. It just gets worse and worse, and that's just not me saying that from a figure of speak standpoint. It's actually getting worse. Today we saw people burning alive. People, they were trying to put them out. It wasn't like people just holding their phone watching people burn. It was chaos, and you had people trying to hose down the entire area, and then you had other people holding their phone, you know, trying to document it because it's a genocide. And clearly that footage is for us to see for all time. But I'm telling you, man, that was a new level. Usually when you see stuff like that, the person's already died. You know what I mean? We see the aftermath. You don't see somebody who's still trying to cling on to life as it's being taken from while the camera's on it. That's a different thing that we hadn't seen very much of, if any. And in this footage, that's exactly what you saw. You saw dudes burning, going through the anguish of burning alive with your own eyes, with the footage that's going around right now. And, you know, detractors that try to tell you that this is propaganda, or that it's AI, or that, you know, we're feeding into Hamas propaganda or whatever, but this is not that. This is not that. That's, you know, I believe at this point in time I've seen enough AI to be able to tell the difference between AI and not. And this is not AI. Just like nothing else that I've seen in regards to this genocide has been AI. That was actual human being just like myself, burning, crushed underneath whatever was on top of them that was burning as well. Several human beings, very, you know, not too far away to where it's zoomed out or nothing. No, you're up on them, the camera's up on them. And I'm telling y'all, man, it was hard to keep my focus after that, after seeing something like that. it's kind of hard to keep focused, man. So I just want people to understand, like, when I speak up on what's going on in regards to this genocide, I'm passionate about using my voice to try to bring awareness to it, because these are the images that I'm seeing. And if I'm going to be seeing these images, there has to be some reaction to that. That isn't just me sitting back, shaking my head and proceeding about my day. I wasn't raised to do that. I wasn't. And while America and Israel and different factions all over the world, in the Congo and all these different things, they've had these things happen. It's a different story when you're seeing footage of it every day. You know, this morning saw more children who had passed away before this even occurred. 5 or 6 kids laid out that I guess they were playing soccer / football in the middle of an area that they were inhabiting, trying to find a safe place to stay, and of course they were bombed. Kids no older than 11. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, this is the type of stuff that's continuing to happen a year after the genocide began, and we're still watching it. They are not done. Israel's still engaging on this in this behavior, and no one's stopping them. Least of all, our country, who's one of the biggest supporters of Israel, whether they're right or wrong. And in this case, it's embarrassing to it's shameful to be attached to this country when this is the type of leadership that's making decisions for us. It's absolutely embarrassing. And you know that they're due what comes with whatever karma should be headed their way. And I just understand this to fit the metaphor that we referred to. You keep on letting people kill people, and there ain't gonna be nobody left, man. Whether they have it in their religious book that it's okay to do so, and they follow that, or if it's in a different fashion, if we keep on allowing certain people to annihilate other people, eventually there's not going to be any people left. And so that's what I would say to anyone who co-signs Zionist genocide upon the Palestinian people, or upon, and they've expanded this, for those of us who are paying attention. They're bombing other people now. They're doing what they did to Palestine in different surrounding areas at this point that exceed the parameters of Gaza and the West Bank and all of that. Now they're going into Lebanon. Now they're going into Syria, and they're killing kids over there. You know what I'm saying? They're expanding what their plan is to create greater Israel. And of course, the acknowledgement of a greater Israel in their mind means that you have to annihilate the natives, just like every colonial project. And so this is what it looks like. And we see it. We're seeing it. If you're not looking away, the footage is there for you to see. And for us to be okay with it, because we have some bigger picture idea of what it's going to look like after it's done, a big resort place where everybody can go and sit in beautiful, you know, modern places that are ultimately going to be built from here. If that's what you value, I feel sorry for you. I really do, because that is a horrible thing to value over human life. And it's gonna age poorly. It is, man. So that's what I want to say, man. I believe that there are better ways to do the things that these people are trying to do. There are more effective and humane ways of accomplishing these goals that they want. And I believe they're aware of this, and I believe they would rather not. They'd want to do this. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with colonialism. It's not looking to evolve. It's not looking to sacrifice its intentions. It's not looking to put down its sword, so to speak. It wants to continue to enact violence upon people who are native, actual native to the land. They will lie about it and say they're native to the land or whatever, but the imprint of what they've done everywhere they've done this is the same. Kill the natives, desolate the place, build up, inhabit, and then declare that you're the best, and everybody should fall to their knees at the sight of you as a conqueror. But you're not a conqueror. You know what I mean? You're not a conqueror. You are a criminal, and that is what we will normalize having conversations about. If that's what you're doing, this isn't the Stone Age. This isn't the days where people ride on elephants. You know what I mean? This is not that. You are supposed to acknowledge that we have evolved in every other facet of life. Technology, how we handle one another, business-wise, we've grown so much, and they still want to do things in the ancient way when people didn't know any better. They still want to kill people to inhabit land instead of purchasing land outright or delegating away toward amicably building what they want to build. They have to steal, kill, traumatize. And we know that there is a better way to go about doing all things. We know that. But when people are so obsessed with old ways and intentional on making their ancestors proud by moving in those ways, then all reason and logic and what would otherwise be fairness gets discarded of, just like these human beings are. So it's unfortunate to see such a barbaric entity in control of this world. It's very unfortunate to see so many people at peace with these tactics that they use that are just flat out unnecessary. And it's encouraging to know that when I look in the mirror, I see a human being that didn't sit by idly, silent, watching them do it. And I see others with me who are doing even more than I'm able to. So we got to step our game up, human beings, or it ain't going to be too many of us left. We keep on overvaluing ourselves and undervaluing everyone else. We're going to end up finding what comes with that is not what we think. And that's what I'm here to tell you. There's going to be suffering that comes to the people who've done this, and there's going to be some suffering coming to the people who stood by idly and watched it happen. And I can only feel but so much sorrow for any of you, because I feel too much sorrow for those who are going through what they're going through now. So whatever resistance or whatever anger that piles up in their heart that makes them react in whatever way they choose to react, seems at this point, based on all that I've seen over the last 370 plus days, just. Whatever they decide to do, it's just. Because not only did they suffer, but they watched people not care as they did. Watched people enact language that would basically co-sign their suffering while they suffer. People who were supposed to be sophisticated, intelligent, and powerful stood by idly and let them suffer. Not just die, suffer. And they crowned the people who were doing it to them as victims, crowned the people who were doing it to them as important, crowned the people who were doing it to them as exempt from accountability. And that's due some reaction there. So shame on America, all of our government in its entirety. Shame on all of you. You are going to go down in history as those who helped the slaughtering of people based on a narrative that held no actual fact to it. You continued doing things in a barbaric way when you could have found a way to do things in a more humane way. You could have. You chose not to, out of the evil in your own hearts and the indifference in your own hearts. And for that, whatever happens to you is going to be celebrated. It's the God's honest truth. Whatever comes to you is going to be celebrated by many all over the world. And as I said under the post where the person was burning, the people were burning, I won't forget what I saw here. As long as I live, I won't. And I ain't gonna let anybody who follows me forget it either. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.